You had it all, Robin. A movie queen at 24. And you slammed all the open doors, crushed all the dreams. But then Aaron's condition started going downhill.
Eventually, he will be completely blind.
This proposal won't be on the table again. Robin Wright for Jeff Green.
You were the future, Robin. You were Princess Bride. And now I'm in this situation.
What situation are you in, Jeff?
The situation of offering you the last contract that you'll ever have. We want to scan you. All of you, your body, your face, your emotions, your laughter, your tears. And we want to own this thing called Robin Wright.
I have to take care of my son.
Robin, things are changing quickly. We're entering a new age.
Once we've scanned you, there's no going back.
Welcome to the Futurist Congress.
So you're here too, huh?
You and I are the only ones who survived.
Who are all the rest?
Characters. They invented.
Are you Robin Wright?
Yes, at least I used to be. There is no way I can imagine Aaron in this world.
I crossed over 6 months ago.
To find Aaron, we have to go on a very long journey.
What's on the other side?
Truth.
Can I go back to where I came from?
There is no such thing as the place that you came from.
So this is kind of like Simone meets Terry Gilliam, which is an interesting mix. I don't know how commercially viable it is, but it seems to have certainly gotten some people's attention. I got a lot of requests from you guys, or at least some very vocal requests, to review this trailer. And it is indeed intriguing, although I do have some problems with it. Beyond, I think, its real lack of commercial viability. First off, I see no reason for them to have paid Robin Wright for her likeness when they don't really use it. That animated version could be anybody. Maybe they pay for her voice, but if I was Danny Huston, I'd be like, I'm going to give you a very repressed rate because we don't have the technology, apparently, to actually make a digital version of you. And I think that speaks to the budgetary restraints of the film and not so much the creative choices that I think they would have ideally liked to have made here. And I think that's a real problem with scripts and something that scripts need to watch out for, and indie filmmakers. There's an idea presented in the material they want to shoot, and they can't afford to do it exactly as described. So they say, all right, well, let's kind of do it, and then hopefully the audience will be forgiving or just not notice. But we do notice, especially when we know today that the technology does exist to create a digital Robin Wright. Just go knock on Robert Zemeckis' door and ask to use his computer programs because he certainly isn't using them anymore. But I did get a kick out of animated Tom Cruise, although I don't think that's his voice. I checked the credit here very quickly in the trailer, and I think for sure they would have mentioned if he would have been so nice as to do a cameo, although considering Edge of Tomorrow's kind of box office fizzle, maybe they don't want him even near their indie film, but it is a funny nod, and it reminds me of things like Cool World and, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, this kind of ink and paint Hollywood version. And 2D animation does touch our hearts, or at least a number of our hearts, in a very special way. But I still think that it doesn't work with what's being talked about in the movie. I much would have preferred to see these digital copies, these clones that exist in a digital world. As for Robin Wright, I think she's an interesting choice. I really like her a lot in House of Cards. I think she's very compelling in that role. But I think that role plays to her strengths as an actress and that she's very much a blank slate. And I think that blankness here might be appealing to an indie director, but I think with an audience, it's hard to really relate to a character that's not there. That's really out of it. And I think, we've been discussing a lot with The Fault in Our Stars and Frozen about how maybe does that give the audience a chance to step into that person's shoes, to be them, to better relate if there's not so many characteristics to find that can, disqualify you from being that person. But here, Robin Wright is playing herself. She is supposed to be a very distinct persona. That's the whole point of the movie, it seems, that she sold that persona to save her son. and what are the repercussions of that, both for her and society. So, there are a lot of interesting topics at hand here, and I'm curious to see if the movie can do more than just introduce them. Maybe that's all it needs to do, but I would like to see it discuss it to some degree and maybe draw some conclusions. I think that's always better art and just a better use of anyone's time. But it does look visually compelling. It looks very much like anime to me, but I just feel maybe it's just a poorly cut trailer. But I think mainstream audiences like a little bit more snap to their films. They like a little bit more focus, and I think they like the promise of some kind of resolution. And unfortunately, Robin Wright isn't that big of a name right now. There are some other names here: Paul Giamatti, Jon Hamm. Danny Huston, I guess, is kind of a name. But again, nobody that really can bring in the box office draw that's necessary. So we'll see. But that's how I feel about this. My curiosity is piqued, but I don't know if it's piqued any more than something you walk by in like maybe a modern art museum and you go, oh, well, that was nice. That was interesting. This was a pleasant afternoon. Let's go to the cafeteria and the gift shop. But maybe sometimes, even when you go not expecting to be moved, you are moved. So I think I would be, maybe tempted to check this out. So I'm curious, what do you guys think? Does this look like it's doing a good job? Does it look like it's a full film? What do you think of the choices that were made? And does it bother you that they discuss the idea of stealing someone's persona, yet the 2D Robin Wright could be anybody, really. It just happens to have Robin Wright's voice. It certainly doesn't look as close to the real thing as Tom Cruise, or that caricature of Tom Cruise. So thank you so much for asking me, all of you who asked to review this trailer. I hope you enjoyed my review, and you can check out some more episodes right now.